Towards the end of 2014, the world's worst ever outbreak of Ebola virus disease, or EVD as it's often known, was taking hold in the West African countries of Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone. At this time, we were contacted by a small Sierra Leonean NGO called the Environmental Foundation for Africa, and they asked us one question. Could we help them to substantiate anecdotal reports that deforestation contributes to the animal-to-human transmission of the Ebola virus? And if this is a contributing factor, what practical measures could be undertaken to reduce the risk of future outbreaks? Ebola virus disease is a zoonotic disease, which means that it's transferable from animals to humans. A species of bat is suspected to be the reservoir host of the Ebola virus. For this forest-dwelling reservoir, the virus is benign, but to humans and to many other animals, it's deadly. And it only requires one person to become infected by one animal for rapid human-to-human transmission of the Ebola virus to occur.
So our basic hypothesis was that as you have a landscape that becomes more and more deforested, and in particular patterns that we often see in West Africa, you get a greater amount of species concentration within those forest patches, sort of islands. And with that increased diversity of species, you're going to have an increased likelihood of zoonotic transfer from one host species to a human host, such as the case with Ebola or with many other diseases. We started to undertake a geospatial analysis of satellite imagery.
We took satellite imagery from the historic satellite imagery over a span of years for each outbreak, before and after, and we detected all the forests in those areas. We then noticed that as the forests in those areas that were the Ebola patient zero occurred, as it deforested, there was larger chance of outbreak between a very narrow amount of time.
In September 2015, we published a report of the research findings and presented it to a range of multi-stakeholder audiences across West Africa, Europe and the United States. One of the organisations we came into contact with during this time was the Centre for International Forestry Research, or CIFOR as they're more commonly known.
And that group actually picked up our research, and then we worked with them over about 2 years to develop that publication that was submitted and accepted into Nature. Our next goal is to use this momentum to help us leverage some of the international lenders to sort of increase their awareness about the importance of forest preservation. And like that, there is a significant connection between environmental or biodiversity health and human health. In particular, West Africa, but likely I think this is a trend that is going to be pertinent worldwide. I hope that we get to do more of stuff like this, because it's very gratifying, and hopefully it helps improves people's lives a little bit. That's what we can hope.